Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my name is Ahmad Irfan bin Ahmad Shukran. Number matrix AA181915. I will explain and present about introduction. Okay, firstly, infrared radiation IR or infrared light is a type of radiant energy that's invisible to human eyes, but we feel that as a heat. So infrared radiation is emitted or absorbed by molecules when they change their rational vibrational movement. It excites vibrational modes in a molecule through a change in the dipole moment, making it a useful frequency range for study of these energy states for molecules of the proper symmetry. Okay, next, infrared spectroscopy examines absorption and transmission of photons in the infrared range. Most of the radiation emitted by a moderately heat surface in infrared. Its form of a spectrum. Molecular excitation also continuous spectrum. Okay, molecular excitation also produce copious infrared radiation, but in a discrete spectrum of lines or bands. Okay, lastly, everything with a temperature above around 5 degrees Kelvin, which is minus 455 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 268 degrees Celsius, emits IR radiation. The sun gives of half of its total energy as IR. Infrared radiation is used in industrial, scientific, military, law, and enforcement and medical applications. So here we go to the types of infrared. There are 3 types of infrared. Firstly, the first type of infrared is shortwave or near infrared or IRA, which is 0.78 to 1.5 microns. It's covered the thousands to hundreds of degrees centigrade. So secondly is medium wave or medium or middle infrared or IRB, which is 1.5 to 3 microns. It's covered the high hundreds to mid hundreds of degrees centigrade. The lastly of the types of infrared is long wave infrared or far infrared or IRC, which is 3 microns to 1000 microns, which is the same to the 1 millimeter. It's covered the mid hundreds of degrees centigrade to absolute zero.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain about operating system and application of infrared. First, operating system. Infrared have 3 law in operating system. First is Planck's radiation law. Every object at temperatures equal to 0 K emit radiation. Planck's law is related to energy and electromagnetic. The purpose to make the infrared system is when electromagnetic let go in object to thermal equilibrium. Okay. Next. Second is Stephan-Boltzmann's law. The total energy emit the wavelength by a black body is related to the absolute temperature. This law also use temperature and heat power. Okay. Last is wind displacement law. Object of different temperature emit spectra that split at different wavelengths. This is law explained about the radiation. Black body for different temperature will increase the wave of infrared oppositely. In simple word, infrared work light can see something that cannot see by normal eye. It can see and define the electromagnetic and heat energy. Shorter wavelength have higher energy of visible light. Infrared we present at 3 places in light level. Light level have 3 places. First is near infrared. The first level is very close to visible light. The length of wavelength, the range is 0.7 to 1.3 micron. Second is mid infrared. It at a middle of light range. It ranges from 1.3 to 3 micron. And the last one is thermal infrared, the largest part of the infrared spectrum. It has wavelength range from 3 to 30. The operating system also related with motion of atom. The atom always vibrate, move and rotate. As we know, the atom will change the situation if we give heat or not give heat. It will create a different energy, like very vibrate or move. It make infrared can know the different energy and give the light of the object based on the visible light level. All the objects on Earth have a infrared radiation in form of Earth. That make it can detect something without clear physical. So if we cannot see the object, infrared still can know the object, the power of object. In simple word, infrared system is detect object use the light, heat and heat of the object. Next, I will explain about application of infrared. First is night vision. This is camera that make us can see in the dark. Infrared sensor can make the visible light by grouping the conversion of ambient light photon into electron and make the image based on the different surface temperature by detecting the radiation from object. These tools always be used for army and spy to see what happens in the dark. Next is tracker. Infrared also can be a tracker as known as infrared tracking and infrared homing. In operation system, all objects have a own spectrum. The infrared just scan the object based on the heat and spectrum of object. In the picture, the car follow the infrared. So the infrared is receiver and transmitter connected to make a car follow the infrared. Third is communication. Infrared already used in communication among computer, reference and professional digital assistant. Actually, this application is used by every host that used for control the television. Yes, remote control as a infrared. This application has different with other example. Other two examples. Infrared can save the data from the light to make it seen with the one device. Like the remote, we only can use to the device that same to the remote. We can control the other device. The receiver use a silicon photodiode to convert the infrared radiation to electric current. The remote only can control one device to the same time, but data in remote can be changed. If, as we know, Xiaomi have a infrared too, that it can be changed with what device we want to control. Next, spectroscopy. Infrared also can identify the molecule by analysis of their constituent bond. Different atoms must have different energy and heat, and infrared can know that is owned by which object is which. This application usually used to know the object, then measure the speed by split the object by object nearby. Number 5, meteorology. The tools we call weather satellite. It can make the forecast of the condition of weather now and future, and can see the condition based on the heat on the area and convert it become visible light. So it makes us can see the forecast of weather for nearby time. Now this application also can be used by citizen using smartphone. We can see same color in the app. Like this. The color that on the area in app is visible light that detected by infrared. Each color determine a different meaning, like rain, hot or storm. Lastly, thermometer. Back to the basic function of the infrared that can detect something using heat and energy. Of course, the infrared can be used to detect temperature of object. The difference with other thermometer is infrared can read the temperature of object from distance that more far than other temperature. Like mercury temperature need to touch the object to read temperature, the heat, but the infrared can detect from a more long distance. This application is very important to check the heat of people that may have some disease without touch or go too close with him to avoid infection. Now this tool is usually used at every single door to avoid transmission COVID-19. On the screen also can show up the color like weather forecast. Okay, thank you.
Hello, hi. My name is Mohammad Shahib Badlan, and I will present about advantage and disadvantage about infrared sensor. Infrared sensor provide secure communication due to line of sight or point-to-point modes of communication. The battery used in infrared device lasts for long duration due to lower power consumption. Their lower power requirement make them suitable for most electronic devices such as laptop, telephones, and PDAs. Infrared motion sensor detect motion in daytime and night time reliably. The sensor does not require any contact with the product to be censored. The infrared devices are more appropriate for targets which are closer than 10 mm. Infrared devices can measure distance to soft objects which may not be easily detected by ultrasound. They are physically smaller in size and more affordable. It can respond time faster than thermocouple. It provides good stability over time. No corrosions or oxidation can affect the accuracy of infrared sensor. It delivers high reproducibility. They are capable of detecting motion in presence or absence of light almost with the same reliability. They do not require contact with object to be detection. There is no leakage of data due to beam directionality (IR). Infrared radiations, they have strong noise immunity. Next, disadvantage. Disadvantage. Infrared frequencies are affected by hard objects, oil, odor, and environmental conditions, smoke, dust, fog, and sunlight. It does not work through very common objects. Infrared waves at high power can damage eyes. In monitor and control application, it can control only one device at one time. Also difficult to control things which are not in line of sight and required line of sight between transmitter and receiver to communicate. It supports shorter range and its performance degrades with longer distance. It supports lower data transmissions compared to wire transmission. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you very much.
So, we are heard about many of the features of the infrared, from the introduction, types, application, advantage, disadvantage, the operating system, and others. So we go to the conclusion that we can take the input of our presentation. So there are many of features that and important things that can be application to our life, to the daily life, to be apply to the daily routine of our life. So we can see for a moment that there are many benefits and advantage of infrared that we can apply to human life in this age. The policy and prudence of scientists for the far away long ago to create this infrared as a positive impact on the day-to-day of the goods of humanity as a mean and in turning point in more sophisticated change. So one of the most common use of infrared radiation is an heat sensitive of thermal in imaging cameras, and also we use the infrared application in a remote television. So infrared system and infrared sensor in the remote television that we use every day as also give an impact to our life. So we just only sit far away from television and just control a remote television to change the television system of the channel. So there are also spectral features in the infrared that give one unique information about the physical condition of a wide variety of objects that can only be obtained in the infrared. So yeah, thank you.